Hi, and welcome to Positive Fandom. I'm your host, Rrr Mmmm. Today we have Catherine Cooke with us, and we're going to be talking about the panels at Star Wars Celebration 2022. How are you, Catherine?
Good.
Good. Well, thank you for joining me today. You and I have talked about Star Wars Celebration this year in 2022, and we're both going. We are so excited. It is a go. Some tickets may still be available to you all who are watching out there. So go ahead to the Star Wars Celebration website and check that out. And they've also announced the autograph and photo opportunities for purchase if you are attending Celebration. Catherine, a few weeks ago, or maybe about a week ago, we received some information about the panels at Star Wars Celebration this year. And just so we understand, Catherine, how do we get into a panel at Star Wars Celebration? Are they going to be doing the lottery again? Do you know?
For the big panels, I would assume they're doing the lottery again because that's simple, and I don't think a lot of places really like people lining up forever anymore. I mean, I know Chicago wouldn't allow it because they didn't want people, lining up all the way out into the streets and down the boulevard and stuff. But they haven't confirmed whether they're going to do that for this. They might. I assume that they will, and then you have all the other panels which you could just walk right into.
Exactly. So that's just so everybody knows. And I know everybody wants to go to a lot of those. I mean, this is a great year, especially if you're into The Mandalorian like I am. This is going to be a stellar year, but there is actually quite a bit. It looks like a full panel to me. And Catherine, I've been going to cons, let's say over the past year. And, it has been a little bit different with things, but this is a much fuller panel with a lot more kind of like what I would expect to see at a celebration. Just briefly, even looking at the panel, is it what you would normally expect during a regular year at Celebration?
Having not looked at what the panels are, except for a few of the big ones, I know that there's like the live action directors are going to do a panel. There's a Mandalorian panel. I would assume they're going to do something for Andor or whatever, but there's all the trademark ones that are the mainstays you have all the time, like the creature effects one, which is a really fun panel. You don't want to miss that. And then you have like the fan panels and stuff like that. So one of my favorite things to do more at Celebration is to browse the exhibit hall floor. And because you could do that over several days, you could spend as much time at the different vendors as you want rather than having to like race through everything. Which is why I mentioned on the last broadcast that the first thing I'm going to do when I go there is go to the Celebration store just to get that out of the way. But panels, like, I was looking at some of the big panels and I thought, it's okay. I wasn't super jazzed for them as much as I was for the big panels that were announced for last Celebration. But I'll probably try and sign up for one whenever they announce the lottery. I know my tickets were mailed out yesterday or 2 days ago, so I should be receiving those soon. And then you can activate your badges through that, and that's how you could start signing up for these things.
Well, that's good to know. And that's especially good to know for someone like me because I'm getting everything by will call. And they did send out an email saying that if you get your badges by will call, there's another way. Maybe they send a link that's going to let us go ahead and register for panels so that we can, of course, also partake in this fantastic celebration.
Okay, so they did say it's going to be for registering for panels?
I haven't gotten it yet, but that's what they indicated.
That'll confirm that they are doing the lottery system again.
Yeah, it would really be good to know at this point. Although I've heard from a few sources, let's just say Facebook pages that they are going to do the lottery again. I hope they do the lottery one more time. I think it's more realistic. And Catherine, I can't wait on a line for overnight. Like that's not happening.
And then it's also not perfect because there are people who are more than willing to sit for those panels. Like I've heard stories from people in Chicago who drove across the country to go to that thing, were willing to camp out for the big panels, and they couldn't get in because they didn't have the lottery. Whereas I signed up for the lottery for 4 of them and I got 3, and that was like, wow, I got lucky. So it's kind of sad. So I don't know, it's not perfect, but I guess if the people who actually own the convention center prefer it to having people lining up en masse, then I guess they'll go with that.
Well, Catherine, you said you're expecting greater crowds than ever because when you were in Chicago, you said most of the fans were from California.
Yes, many of them from Southern California. I was very surprised because I expected, Star Wars Celebration. You got fans from all over the country, all around the world coming. And yeah, there were some, but like 8 out of 10 people I met there were from Southern California.
Wow. So, I
Crazy.
mean, if that's any indication of what to expect, this is just going to be maybe one of the highest attended celebrations ever. And I'm super excited for it. And we've been talking about it for months and months. Yesterday was May the 4th. And of course, there's a lot of buzz around it. Just even the entire month of May for Star Wars is a great deal for all of us. But I did get a chance to look at a lot of these panels. And you're right, there are a lot of larger panels that will take place on the celebration stage per se. Like for example, I guess the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase panel, which is going to have a preview for all the, Star Wars live action series. And of course, there's special guests who they're not announcing, and we're expecting that it's going to be cast members and crew and things of that nature that will show up. So that's going to be exciting. And also the other big one that I think that they announced had to do with The Mandalorian as well. And it's called, I think it's called Mando, A Conversation with Favreau and Filoni. So if you're a fan, not everybody's a huge Mando fan, but if you are and you're a fan of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, that'll be another one that you want. There's a lot of streaming ones you can sign up for. I guess maybe are there panels outside of the not panels, but I'm assuming that there's like video screens outside of that you can watch
Yes,
this on.
but certain things they will keep as exclusives to that panel that will not stream on the videos. So, like when I went to the Mandalorian panel, I got to one of the overflow stages, and they played the sizzle reel, but that sizzle reel is restricted to the people who got into the panels, whereas the rest of the discussion was streamed to everybody at the exhibit hall. So it's kind of back and forth. And I admittedly didn't pay attention to the screens all the time. Sometimes they would just put an ad for who's coming on the Star Wars stage, which is on the exhibit hall floor, and that's actually a good way to kind of bump into people too when they're bringing all kinds of people up to have interviews. And the panel streams can be fun. Like I remember, I didn't get into the episode 9 panel, but they streamed that one in its entirety. That was the one exception they made to everybody at the exhibit hall. And you could have heard a pin drop. Everybody was just waiting for the trailer, and nobody was interested in what anybody on the panel had to say because they were just waiting for that trailer to drop, which is pretty funny. But yeah, so you can expect that. And then if you get to the exclusive panels, sometimes they'll give you goodies on your way out. Like I got the teaser poster of The Mandalorian where he's standing in the doorway of the bar in the pilot episode with the title written in red. And that you can get fun stuff like that. So it's fun to get into those panels, but at the same time, if you miss it, if there's a trailer they release, then it'll probably drop on the internet within a few minutes or later in the day. I know they didn't end up dropping the sizzle reel for Mandalorian online, but they ended up releasing a trailer for that a bit later because it was still 6 months out. But yeah, so it's fun, especially so. Always keep your eyes peeled when you see those big jumbotrons when you're going through the exhibit hall and say, hey, what's going on up there?
Well, I'm definitely going to follow your advice, Catherine, and go through the hall. Definitely go into purchase what I want to get on day one, which will probably be Thursday when I get there. And also, keep my eyes peeled as you have recommended, because I have a tendency not to do that. And I could be standing right next to, anybody famous and I don't even notice it. So I'm going to, keep my eyes peeled from now on.
That happened to me. I was going through the hall and I didn't realize that I was crossing the line where they walk the talent across the hall floor to the Star Wars stage. And I stopped because I was in a wheelchair at the time, and walking right past was one of the, they had one of the attendants there, and with him was Julian Glover. He played Donovan in The Last Crusade and General Veers in Empire. Walks right by and he nods like, hi. And I didn't think about it for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, was that Julian? And like, yeah, it was.
Well, this is why we're going. It's for moments like this, which are most likely going to happen, because it feels like at this particular event, perhaps there's more accessibility to, guests that we want to see. And, I've been checking the guest list for photographs and autographs and everything like that daily to see if they're adding more people. And I have a feeling they will continue to add more people as the days come closer. I know that I definitely want to meet Carl Weathers. So that's just my thing. I absolutely have to meet him.
Oh, I did. I got a photo op and autograph with Carl Weathers and Giancarlo Esposito. And Dickie Pierce.
Yes. Yes. So I'm so excited to see that. But I'm also curious as to who else is going to be there. And I know Ashley Eckstein is pretty much a staple, and there are a lot of people who are staples at the celebrations, and so we'll see those people there for sure. But you did mention this too last time we spoke, was about the Star Wars Attack of the Clones 20th celebration, and there is a panel on that. I don't know whether that one is on. It's probably on the celebration stage. I might as well just be honest about it. But
I
that
probably the celebration stage. I haven't been to the Anaheim Convention Center, so I'm not sure what the layout is. Because in Chicago, the celebration stage was at a separate building across the street, and that was where they had the Phantom Menace panel. And I know as far as attendees for Attack of the Clones panel, we know Ewan McGregor's going to be there, and his photo ops and autographs sold out so fast that yesterday they added more. And I imagine those are probably sold out now. I don't know. I didn't bother buying it because it was way out of my price range. But
yeah, it's way out of my price range too.
yeah, but I figured, I'll go to the he for sure will be at the panel, and people are waiting to see if they're going to announce Hayden because it's like he's been a mainstay at some of the recent celebrations as well. So we'll see who else they get to make, because the episode 1 panel was the first time I'd been to a panel like that, so I really liked it. But other people who have been to all sorts of Star Wars cons were really disappointed in it. But since I didn't have anything to measure it against, I thought it was really fun because they had Ahmed Best, who got the big standing ovation, and Ray Park, Ian McDiarmid, and Anthony Daniels came out. So it's like that was really fun. So I expect the episode 2 panel will be something similar. The celebration store is selling 20th anniversary episode 2 related T-shirts and stuff like that. Other merchandise you can get. So it'll be fun to see all the prequel love, because Ewan McGregor mentioned something interesting about that the other day. He says, yeah, when we were making those movies, people were bagging on him a lot and not really caring about it. But he said it was kind of neat now the way they were explaining it to me, that all the children who were watching those movies who, weren't online bagging them all the time because they grew up with it, they're the ones who are grown up are now going to be coming to the celebration and seeing this. And he thought that was so cool. And I thought, yeah, it is.
It is fantastic. And it's funny how things change through the years. And, if anything, that goes to show us how, we can kind of appreciate the cool things in it. We're not going to like everything, and that's just how life is. But you can still kind of enjoy certain things in it, I think, regardless. And so it's going to be nice to see, we're seeing more generations now, Catherine. I mean, we always did, but now hearing full generations' voices of how they love the prequels, they love them, and how much it means to them. It is very interesting to see them share that with not just us, but with even generations that are kind of loving the sequels. To be honest with you. So, the future is going to be something that's as always multi-generational, but we're going to see people who are going to be defenders of a lot of the shows that, maybe some people are like, oh, that wasn't my favorite, but that's okay. So there's a lot of Star Wars to go around for everyone. You mentioned Ian McDiarmid, and of course he's going to have a panel there called, Audience with the Emperor. And I'm sure that's going to be a hot one that everybody's going to want.
I got to go to that, because he didn't have a panel last time, but as I got his autograph and a photo op with him and Ray Park, and that was really cool. It's like Audience with the Emperor. I gotta see that.
Yeah, even I'm curious about that one, and I think that whoever gets that one is going to be very lucky. I've never met him, and I just am such a huge fan of his. I think that would be great.
Is that something that's on a lottery panel? Does it say, or is that just one of the ones you can waltz into?
I don't have that information, Catherine. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me, but.
One of the other fun panels I went to at Chicago was that you could just walk into was Doug Chiang, the artist who did all the concept art for those movies, and and it was such a great panel. I haven't looked yet at the list, but I know he's going to be there, so I would assume he'll be hosting that panel again. But it's so cool.
Yeah, it probably is on the list. There's quite a lot of panels. And it's funny because, we all try to predict what might be there, but you never know what's going to be coming out on these panels. For example, I already knew that anything Mandalorian, I was going to want to attend. So, if I'm lucky to get, as I said, the celebration stage panels, that's great. But if not, I'm still going to attend probably all the ones that have to do with the Mandalorian. And you said Doug Chiang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have a panel on designing the Mandalorian.
Okay,
so
yeah, that's
cool. Yeah, that's going to be, like a well visited panel, a
I
very
would
sought out
also
panel.
assume that these regarding the panels that are on the celebration stage, which are the big ones, that they will probably also have the overflow uh, auditoriums, which because that was the thing when I got into the Mandalorian panel in Chicago, I didn't get the main celebration stage, which is live in person. I got one of the overflows. So I imagine they'll have overflows for these as well, which makes your chant 2 or 3 times as likely to, get one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am actually seeing that down advertised on the panel list, Catherine, the overflows. It says streaming. And I'm assuming that that's what that means, that it's going to be streaming somewhere, in the convention center. They haven't said anything about stuff being held outside of the convention center, but I'd have to give them, it is possible, knowing this location, that they could have a huge monitor outside. So, I'll take what I can get, Catherine. I'll tell you that much. Um, and they also are going to be having a lot of other things, like, of course, the Mandalorian Mercs are going to be there. The 501st is going to be there. And also something that I'm kind of looking forward to is another one. It is Mandalorian, so I'm sorry about the Mandalorian overload, but Mandalorian motion and energy, movement and motion tech, useful for those, like how they actually create a lot of the effects there. But I thought it's like useful for individuals like myself who want to make our own Mando Grogu adventures and different things like that. Also, a lot of droid stuff. My best friend is going to be building a K2SO on his property, but it's going to be a really large one. For Halloween, he's got to start it now. But I told him about this and he was like, if you can go, just take notes and find out just information about it. I said, sure. He's going to be building it out of pallet wood, because he wanted to get materials that wouldn't cost a lot of money. So he got a bunch of pallets and like, they're determined to finish this project. I can't wait to see what this thing's going to look like, Catherine.
Yeah, that's another fun thing to go check out is the Droid Builders hall. That is so cool. Just seeing them all. It's like, wow, because they're so pitch perfect, and the animatronics for it and getting them to move is so awesome.
Absolutely. And then there are other panels like mythology of Star Wars. Of course, I'm going to be attracted to that no matter what. I'm going to be like, I have to kind of listen to this. But also a bunch of YouTubers, like people from Star Wars Explain, will be there. And also there's like one other interesting panel called Fandom Through the Generations that's kind of making me think, yeah, maybe I ought to go ahead and watch that one. But also the Saber crews are going to be there, training you, like if you want to learn how to handle your sabers. Padme's closet was another one that I really like. And I think that there's been a lot of buzz about Padme recently, especially in the collector circuit, about how, they're trying to see if we're going to get more figures of her, and also just her costumes, which are spectacular. And I know we're going to see a lot of cosplay, especially since it's the 20th anniversary. We're going to see Padme's, and that's going to be something that I'm so excited to see, Catherine. Another one is, let me see if I have this right. This is the Way, Mandalorian, and Joseph Campbell, which is another Mandalorian panel, and Star Wars Food and Fandom is going to be having a special panel, and I think that the person who's doing it is the woman who's the wife of the guy who plays he's the one who was a Republic, I guess, trooper or soldier who was trying to recruit Cara Dune.
Carson Teva, that character,
Yes,
played by
yes.
Paul Sun Lee.
I think it might be, I hope I'm saying the right person, but if I'm wrong, it should still be very interesting. And Catherine, there's also going to be a Bad Batch season 2 panel. Now, I don't know how people, how they looked at the Bad Batch season 1, but I kind of did like it, and I'm hoping that we're going to see some surprises there going forward. And it's interesting that you had mentioned the price for Ewan McGregor's, for the signing and for the photos. Earlier last year, I went to some cons, and Hayden Christensen had showed up to the cons, and to get his autograph, I think it was like maybe $175. And I was like, should I do it? Should I do it? And I didn't do it. And now I'm kind of regretting it because I'm thinking, what if he's going to show up to this one? And I have a feeling it would be more
Oh
than
yeah,
100.
all of the prices for those things would be more expensive at Celebration than they would be at other local panels or local cons. But yeah, some of those panels sound good. Like the Joseph Campbell one, got to be there. The mythology one, got to be there. The funny you mentioned fan panels. I have a Star Wars show too, and we actually put in applications for that, and we didn't get it because they were hit with such an overflow of requests that it was too late by the time we applied. But that could be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to see you on a panel like that. I think that would be so much fun. Also, things like seeing the world through a Star Wars lens, or even the toys that made us guys are going to be there.
Yeah.
And even women in Star Wars collecting. Now, I don't know who's going to be in that panel, but I am kind of curious as to who would be in it. They said there was going to be 6 women, and I thought to myself, hell, there's a billion bunch of ladies who could be on that. That should be like a full panel with like 20 people or something. But because there are so many women who collect and who are fans of Star Wars. And the tabletop game guys are going to be there as well. I have to say, Catherine, I'm just so incredibly excited for this year. I don't even know where to kind of wrap my head around everything. And that's just even kind of looking at the first few days of the panels. So anybody who's out there, guys, please just go ahead and check out the panel lists. It's there now on Star Wars Celebration. You can find all of the information about all of the panels that are going to be there. And also, I think that there will also be a number of people who are going to be talking about collections. I know that they're going to be talking about Star Wars Visions, which was a number of series that they had coming out. That's going to be held this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And they're also going to have something called Ladies of Legion Celebrating Star Wars Through Costuming. So if you're into cosplay and you want to see some of these fantastic costumes, I feel like I've been deprived for so long, Catherine, because we haven't really even been able to go any place to kind of have this a unique discussion about Star Wars in a sense, and even see some of the cosplay, because in some of the other cons, I don't always see as much Star Wars as I'd like to see. So for this one, I think it should be a lot better because it's going to be focused mainly on Star Wars. But yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. Of course, there are kids events too for people who are coming, who have children. And I'm going to be bringing my mother the first day, Catherine, on Thursday. I'm going to have to help her. She's 85, so it's going to be interesting for her. And I'm going to probably have her there for half the day. I'm going to have her there for half the day, and then I have to bring her back to her room so she can rest because she might be a little tired. But I'm assuming that we can enter and then exit and then re-enter a Celebration, Catherine.
Yeah, because when you get your badges, your badge says the ticket type that you have and for what day it is, and if you have it, you're good for the day. And you get like a lanyard you could put it on. So just have your ticket on hand.
Excellent. And I know there's a lot of people out there who maybe
you do have to go back to the security line, though. That's the one thing. So
absolutely. There are still tickets available for Star Wars Celebration. You can go to the Star Wars Celebration website. I got my 4-day pass through Light, the Light Ticket Exchange. So I got that through that. And I got my mother's ticket separately because she's only going on 1 day. But, Catherine, this is going to be such a fantastic year. And more announcements are coming out. I have a feeling maybe the panel selection is full, but I have a feeling there's going to be more events happening in this celebration. And I'm so looking forward to it. Catherine, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Phantasmagorium Show YouTube channel, Wednesday nights at 6. Hosting Martinis, Gadgets, and Guns with Scotty R37, and we're going to be moving on to another fandom pretty soon. Or you can find me on the Virtual Cantina Network YouTube channel, co-hosting The Unifying Force, which airs every second and fourth Sunday of the month at 8 a.m. Pacific.
Excellent. And guys, you can always find me here on Positive Fandom, but you can also find me Monday night streaming on Toxic Femmes with Lorraine Creole at 8 p.m. Eastern. During the week, you can find me on Say What and Uncivilized Scoundrels on the 1/6 Scale Man Network. I also stream with Lorraine Creole doing our series Toxic Masculinity Appreciation, as well as Friday afternoons on Midnight's Edge with Tom and Andre. Sometimes on the weekends, you can find me on the PGS with Robert Meyer Burnett, streaming on Midnight Musings. And guys, please check out my PGS All Stars and PGS review shows on that channel. And for everybody out there eager for Star Wars Celebration, it's happening, people. The excitement is building in the air. I can't wait for more of the announcements coming up. And for all of those people out there, all of you, wherever you are in the galaxy, this is a great time to be a Star Wars fan. And always remember to please be kind. Take care, everybody.